Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, a place where we focus on the business side of art to help you attract more customers, increase profits, and ultimately live a life of creativity and financial freedom. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and this week's episode features North Carolina muralist Crystal Jane Frye of the Easel. Crystal gets the majority of her mural gigs from Facebook, and today she's opening up about her social media strategy that's actually more of a simple habit than a strategy. I think artists overthink the idea of social media so much that it can sometimes put them into a frozen state of confusion or fear, and they don't act at all, right? Like we post because our hair doesn't look perfect or video editing is time consuming, and not to mention we forgot to take photos and videos throughout the whole process. So why even try, right? But what if I told you that posting to social media could be as easy as stopping what you're doing right now for one whole minute, taking one quick photo, then posting it with a one-sentence caption? That's it. That habit, just a few times per day, is how Crystal grew her Facebook to 27,000 plus followers. No fancy editing or scheduled posts, nothing. Just showing up to the world and showing them what she's doing as she's doing it multiple times a day. That's the key. Listen to hear the details of exactly what kinds of photos Crystal is posting, which ones get the most shares, and the full story about how she grew her mural business using Facebook. So I'm here with Crystal, and we're going to talk about murals today and all the things. So Crystal you caught my eye on Facebook, and just right off the bat, I should say you post a lot on Facebook, and I love it. And I'm like, surely that's how you built such a huge following on this platform.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened.
Yeah, tell me about when you started this mural career, when you started your Facebook page, and then how you got to where you are now.
So I started my Facebook page in 2014, and I was working at the county at the time for our Horry County government. So long story short there, when I was 19, I went to work for our local phone company, Horry Telephone. We call it HTC here. And I worked there from the time I was like 19 until I was 24. And I was not able to get a full-time position in the job that I wanted there. So I applied outside of that. And I wasn't painting at this time. Like I painted as a kid and was like crafty, but I had like lost it. I just never picked it back up, you know. So I was getting a business degree from our local technical college, and I was working at HTC and applying for jobs that were full-time outside of that. When I left HTC, I went to the Horry County government and worked for the engineering department. There was a group I was in of women, I think, and we were just doing some crafty things. And I picked up something one day and was painting on it for something that we had to sell. I was like, oh man, I miss doing this, you know? Well, then I ended up, I think somebody had one of those like paint parties at their house, and I did that. And that was when I knew, like, I never stopped painting. And that was about 2012. But in the meantime, I had gone to work for the county. So I was working in the county. I was painting as a hobby on the side with canvas. And I was just giving people gifts, my friends or whatever, painting, you know, anything. And people, like, I started painting Gamecocks, the football that we have here. It just kind of went from there. And I just posted it on Facebook. Like anything I did, I posted on my personal page. And I mean, I already had like a following from work and different things. And they were like, we want to buy one, you know. And so it just kind of started like that on my personal page. And then somebody said, well, you should make a business page. So in 2014, I made the business page, and I was ABC Art by Crystal for a little bit, like for the OGs. And I started doing like paint parties. And that was when, in 2015, I named my business the Easel and went live with paint parties. And then shortly after that became door hanger paint parties. And I joke and say I was born out of the door hanger world. So I did all that until it just kind of morphed. And I've morphed all the way through COVID and everything, and ended up in the abstract walls. Then it completely changed my life like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
It was definitely the abstract walls that really changed everything for me.
Okay, so you were doing mostly paint parties up until about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and windows. Like I did, like school, we have school spirit rocks around here. So I was painting those. I was painting windows for local businesses. And I mean, I had a lot going on, like a lot of small things, and I just was bored, say around like the end of 2021. And I was like, man, I'm really tired of all these door hangers and all of these rocks, these school rocks, these parents want me to paint. And I'm like, I'm bored though. It's got to be something bigger. I had done some murals, but nothing. I mean, I had painted a whole inside of a nursery, which was big and it really did help, but there wasn't really mural jobs I was getting around here. But whenever the end of 2021 came, I found this wall. One of Whitney's walls went viral, and I found her wall online. And I reached out and was like, hey, I'm in South Carolina. Like, I really want to paint something like that here. Do you mind if I use your pictures? So she was like, no, that's fine. So I used a couple of her pictures, and I saw some things online on Pinterest that I wanted to do, like on concrete, like painted rugs and stuff, and posted them all on Facebook one night on my personal page and was like, hey, listen, I'm bored. Like, anybody want to let me give a go at this at their house? Maybe if you're the first person, I'll give you the best deal, like, and I had several to jump on it, and then it just continued and continued. And I really thought it was going to end. I thought, man, I'm just going to ride this train until it ends. But I started making more money than I ever had before, and it just hasn't ended. So I'm going on a year and a half of it now. The walls landed all the way to people wanting wallpaper.
Oh, wow.
And I'm trying to figure out now how to get wallpaper made over. We have a company overseas that I'm trying to talk to. But it did. Like, I never would have thought that. But it's landed me in the world of like patterns, where kind of like with Whitney, she has all her stickers and her patterns. So I can do that on everything too. But my people especially asked for wallpaper. It was very different for me. So I was like, okay. So they more or less said, well, you need to come out with a wallpaper or a shower curtain or something. Like, we're in Texas and California, Wisconsin, Mississippi, and we can't afford for you to come out here, like, to pay you. So you should do wallpaper. And I was like, huh. So I had an assistant, and she was down every wallpaper hole, like rabbit hole we could find. And we finally found a company, but we still haven't perfected it just yet. But it would be a life changer. Like, I mean, having your own wallpaper out there.
Yeah, as soon as you figure that out, I'm going to be knocking on your door saying, hey, what do you, how you doing this?
We're going to come back and meet about this like next year, because I really am hoping, really, really hoping to have it out by the end of the year. I thought it was going to be easier, I think, than I thought it was going to happen a little faster. And so it's not. It's taking more time than that. If it goes, I mean, I had a viral post is what happened, and it went all the way to like Scotland and Italy. It took a hard right turn and went across the pond, and all those people were sending me messages, and they're like, oh my gosh, is this wallpaper? This looks like wallpaper. Like, where can I buy this? And so I have all these people's emails. I got a phone call twice from a lady from Trinidad and Tobago. She was like, girl, you got your wallpaper yet?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay.
In just a year and a half, this is where I've landed, after coming from just starting a business in my kitchen. Now, I've been doing it since 2014 or 2012, kind of hobbying it. So I started selling in about 2014.
I gotcha.
So, and in 2018, I quit my full-time job to do it.
Wow. Okay. So I think this is a good takeaway for somebody who, you can start out as one company name and doing one niche thing, and then it just transforms. And I think there's a lot of, even myself included, you start out with a business name that you think you love, and then you want to change it. Because I started out with Paint It Red was my business name, and now I just pretty much go by R by Andrea. I changed it. And so, for anybody out there just starting their thing, they're like, what do I name my stuff? Like, what should my website be? It's like, just, you can change it. It's okay. Just pick something and go.
You can rebrand. I often will tell people, I definitely, in naming a business and stuff, I definitely would stay away. Like, I hate sometimes that I have Easel in mine, just because it's not always an easel. It's actually rarely an easel. But I did actually go by the domain for crystal-jane.com. So at some point I may, rebrand a little bit, but the option's always there. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can go buy whatever, but it just depends. You just never know what you're going to do. Like I started as the Easy Easel because it was canvases. And then I randomly ran up with a girl that was like doing the same thing, but with door hangers in North Carolina. And she was like, you can buy the door hangers from us. And I was like, man, okay. So I've wholesaled them like all these years, never cut one by hand or anything. And so it really changed then. That wasn't an easel, that was a door hanger. But the name fits now, like with the wallpaper. I mean, we've got it, working on copywriting some of it with the like is put up, even though we don't have the wallpaper yet, it'll be like transform your walls with ease, like our little things say on Facebook, and easy wallpaper. It's not the end all be all. You can always change and morph. I mean, I've definitely morphed with the trend. Like I started with and morphed through the trends of the years. So I've always been able to like move with stuff, and I didn't have to paint just one type of thing. So that I credit that to the reason why I'm still in business and doing better than ever, because I can just kind of keep moving with whatever's trendy at the time or whatever needs at the time,
Yeah. So what's your plan with this wallpaper? You're painting it on the wall and you take a picture of the wall, or you're painting on a canvas, or?
Well, we've gone through that already. So we had walls and we went and took pictures of the walls. I don't have those pictures. I don't have them back yet. I'm supposed to get them this week, but I have seen some of them. And the problem that we're running into is that there's gold and silver leaf on the wall and it doesn't photograph well. So it's going to have to be edited in like Procreate or something in the parts where there's gold leaf. Or I'm going to be designing other designs that are going to be digital, or painting on something like MDF and then taking a picture of it, like a smooth surface, because we did canvas and we tried to use those images, and we did, and had them printed out and sent to us. And when the wallpaper is blown up that much, it shows every thread in the canvas. So it looked like it was pixelated, but it really wasn't. Like it was clear, but it was so blown up that it was like, we figured out that we were seeing the canvas threads. So I was like, okay, no more canvas. It would have to be either a solid surface, the wall, or like I said, MDF or something else like that, or even a digital reoccurring pattern. There's just so much to learn there, because I have winged this for years. I don't even know how to work Procreate. I'm not even going to lie. Sad, true story.
Yeah. You said you're not very techie. I think that's common for artists.
Yeah. I just don't care anything about technology. I do better than some. Like I can work Facebook. I hate Instagram.
Oh,
but
you hate Instagram. Why?
Well, I have Instagram. I'm just like, I guess I feel like I'm the Facebook OG. Like I was here when it started, and I'm just used to that. I'm on that more. I'm not on Instagram more. Instagram only lets you post like 10 pictures. And when I want to post them to my business page, Instagram, if you post through Instagram to the business page, it will not put them in albums like I want them to be. So it's an organized thing. I don't know. It seems like a lot of trouble, but I have everything.
Okay. Yeah. Your Facebook is at how many followers now?
We're at like 27, almost 28, maybe somewhere in there.
1,000. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
28,000. Yeah.
I feel like it's harder to grow on Facebook than it is on Instagram.
And I probably feel like the opposite, only because I don't know as much about it. Like I don't know how old you are exactly, but I'm 37. I don't know. I just don't know much. I never could get the algorithm of Instagram to work for me very well.
I gotcha.
Or maybe I just didn't spend as much time on it to know it. I don't know.
How much do you post to Facebook per week or per day?
Per day? This might blow your mind too. I've never scheduled a post. I have
You post on a whim?
On a whim for years and years. I just finally scheduled some posts maybe in the past month. But I just scheduled on whim. I mean, not scheduled. I just posted on whims, whenever I was of course, I mean, I'm sure for some people, they can't do that, but I just gotten so used to it. Like before I would go paint a wall, I would take a picture and be like, yeah, I'm painting a wall today, or when I got done and come home, I'd post all the pictures.
Yeah. So you're posting as soon as you get to the site. So you're like, this is what I'm doing today. You're
Yeah.
posting sometimes in the middle of the day and at the end of the day.
I'm sure there's days when I've posted like several things, lots and
Yeah.
lots of things. And then there's days when I might, like today and yesterday, like I might only be posted like two things, or
Only
something.
two things. That's hilarious because I will post one thing every like once in a while, but your like minimum is 2 times a day. So probably what's your maximum that you've done? And I love this, by the way, because this shows wherever you put effort, you're going to grow. So I just
Yeah,
have to get the
I
numbers.
don't even know what the maximum is. I mean, when I was selling stuff in here, I might be posting like I had a clean out the other day and I might have posted on my page all day like 10 times because I was
Why
taking
not?
pictures of stuff and trying to sell it and I sold almost all of it,
Yeah, I love this.
So,
I recently heard an online marketer say something about she was in a room full of high profile people who sell online, and she noticed that the similarity between all of them is they all post a lot, and they post what they're selling and they post how they're doing it and how they made it and all that. They like blow everybody's feet up and they don't
just blow it up.
care. Yeah, they're like, they don't care. They're unapologetic about it. They're like, I have this thing to sell. It's amazing. I'm going to tell you about it morning, noon, and night every day for so many
Well,
days.
you have to tell people what they're buying. Like when you go to launch something, I think the statistics are something like you have to tell somebody like, let's say it was like 7 times at least
Yeah.
before they actually are like, yeah, I want to buy that.
Yep.
That's why they do like a launch and say, well, I'm launching it this day or this time. And then they talk about it every day until they launch it or almost, like you
Exactly.
see them running ads on Facebook. It's like, oh my God, like when are they launching this? Like I see every day, or you can always tell when like Launch Hair has some sort of, I don't know about you if it's in your feed, but like the Launch Hair tools or the girls doing makeup, there's certain things and they run sponsorships on them in the feed. And I can always tell when they're having a sale because it's like, we're having a sale and it's like every time I get in the news feed, you know, until they launch the sale. So that anticipation causes people of the fear of missing out, the
Yeah.
FOMO. That's why you close doors on things too, in groups and different stuff.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I will talk to an artist early on and they'll post that they're doing a mural, and they want to get more mural jobs, and they'll make one post and they'll be like, well, I didn't get anything. And I'm like, that's the one post you made. No,
Girl,
come back to me
girl,
after you make
this
10.
this is where I don't understand. So I have people around here and then even other artists that have reached out to me, even local around here, are girls that say that they'd love to get these jobs or love to do that or whatever, or do what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, one I know in particular, she wants to paint full time and I don't see much of her online ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you can't, that's not going to work. People know me everywhere I go because I freaking told them, like on Facebook.
Yeah, and I like that
you
you
know?
put yourself in it too. You do selfies with it. You do like, this is what I'm doing today. You're very personable with your stuff. You're not one of those artists that just paints and then doesn't even look at the camera when they post a photo. You're like, this is me, this is my business, and this is what I do.
Well, yeah. So when I was doing all that kind of thing, I was like, I'm sure people are tired of seeing my face, but I did know you had to put a face with a name. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I did know that. But then I do believe that people will interact with you much more because they feel like you're a real person and not just posting once in a while or
They get to know
like I'm the
you.
same person online that I am in real life. So I mean, it's like I think people respond to that
Yeah.
at certain times if they've followed you for a long time.
Yeah, you're very much yourself. You're just, yeah. And I think I just talked about this recently on a podcast episode, actually, and it was all about branding. And I think people take their brand too like seriously, but it's really just you. It's your personality, it's your
It's you.
style. And
Yeah,
so
it's
putting it
totally you.
online.
Like I would never think that I could be like a salesman or anything, but somebody told me the other day, they said, you'd be surprised, because just by watching you and stuff, I mean, you really are. You're selling yourself. You're selling your business. And that's the main problem I feel like I see, Lynn, and a lot of women around here. Or I don't really know that many guys that paint around here. There's a few of them, but I don't know them like I do the girls. But that's the main thing. A lot of them don't want to be like in the limelight. They don't want to be on Facebook, or they don't want to take a selfie and put themselves out there. They don't want to, and I don't know. It's been tough at times because, I mean, when you do put yourself out there more, I mean, you are putting yourself out there to be judged.
Yeah.
In a high online presence. But the ramifications from it, like the pros, are way better than the cons. I mean, it's how I stay so busy. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, okay, so truly, bad as it sounds, visibility will win over talent any day of the week.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you need
You
some
don't
kind of
have to be
talent.
the most talented person. I get jobs and I'm like, I know like there's artists around here that I know are more talented than me, especially in certain areas. And I know that I get more jobs than them. And I'm like, it's only because people see me.
Yep.
Like I'm everywhere. Like you open it up and I'm on Facebook, or I'm somewhere, you know.
Yeah, you try hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it's not even trying anymore. It's just like my
It's
everyday. Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the takeaway from that for anybody listening, they're like, gosh, I don't want to show off on Facebook. And I think one thing too is I don't necessarily look that great when I go to paint. Sometimes I'm like, you know, I just like barely slap it on makeup. My clothes have paint all over them. So I'm like, no, the last thing I want to do is just take a selfie with what's going on. But do it. It's like, how bad do you want it? You know, how bad do you want more customers? Just do it anyway.
Yeah, and I guess that would bring people to always be like, Crystal, you always have your hair done and your makeup done. And I'm like, you know what? I decided a long time ago when I started doing this that if I had to wear paint clothes all the time, that I was going to look somewhat representable, because there are big businesses out there, and like you don't never know when somebody's going to walk up off the street and give you the biggest break of your life. Okay, I do try, but it's just me though. Like whether I was painting or not, I can't control my paint clothes because they have to be paint clothes, but I can control my hair and my makeup, you know, or I can at least make sure I brushed my hair, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that there are people that feel like that. I have friends that are like, I do not care, and I'm not taking a selfie like that. But I want to take a picture with me in my work. Like, I am a little different in the sense of I feel like almost every day that I get up, like I really, really pride myself in this because I was raised to think that I couldn't have it. Like I was raised to think that you couldn't make money as an artist, and that being a full-time doing what I do was just like unheard of.
Yeah.
In a town like where I live, everybody, I mean, even my mom she was a payroll clerk for 30 years and, you know, thought that we had to have retirement insurance. That's why I was working for the phone company. And, you know, and I get it, you know, you want that security, but I really don't take my job for granted. I feel like some people, because I just wasn't raised to think it could happen, and to see it happen, to come close to breaking the 6-figure mark. I make more money doing this than I could have ever at any job around here, I mean, you know, it might take some people like years to believe and be on board, you know, the people that worry about you or think you're crazy for quitting your job. But I mean, it's come with a lot of tears and stuff, but I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
You have to love it. I think most of us that do it probably do love it.
Yeah. What did your family and everybody think when you first starting versus what do they think about now?
Well, it was more like when I quit my job 5 years ago. I can remember my mom having almost a mini stroke. She'll tell you different, but I was like, oh Lord, I'm gonna put my mama in the hospital. I had gone through a major breakup with an engagement, and then my grandma died, and I had a family. Like 2 months after the breakup, my grandma died, and my family split over like some land and like an issue of like I don't even talk to half my family or whatever. And that was 2 months after the breakup, and then another month I quit my job. I really just was at like a really big breaking point. I was like, I'm not doing this. I hated my boss. She hated me. I was just not happy in that job. I had not really truly been happy in like almost any of my jobs. And I just always wondered why. But and the people that I worked for, it seemed like no matter how good I did or how much, like I just wasn't cut out for it somehow. Like it wasn't, almost like I was up for job promotions or something at a time and then I wouldn't get it. And I was like, how long can this go on? And I think like God knew that I would have never quit if it hadn't been for just about having a freaking like meltdown or, life crisis. Like, hey, I'm about to do it. I've done it. I was quitting because I was trying to move to Charlotte, North Carolina. And that didn't pan out. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to paint here. So I kept painting and kept painting. And it really has opened up doors here. I mean, people are moving to Myrtle Beach like daily, lots of them. So it has worked out very well for me, but I have absolutely got up every day and done that. Here's a selfie of me today painting on my porch. Here's what I'm painting. Here's what the door hangers. Here's the group of kids that I had art class with. I have flooded Facebook. I'm sure there's people that don't even follow me anymore in my personal page because I flooded my personal page too. I flooded everything. I threw it down Facebook's throat for years. And then I think I had like a certain amount of people that might have unfollowed me for that. And then I had a certain amount of people that just like, oh my gosh, well, we love following you. Yeah. Like I can go to the grocery store now and they're like, and I haven't seen this person like anything or comment on anything, didn't even know they were following me. And they're like, oh my God, you're doing so good. Because you never know who's watching you, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I mean, posting really does. If it weren't for the social media, I wouldn't have a full-time job doing this.
Right. Now is the best time and easiest time for artists to
make a living of
this.
And yeah, because right now is a good time for anybody that wants to work to get a job.
Yeah.
I can literally be in somebody's house painting a wall and they're like, hey, do you paint these? Blah, blah, blah. I can't get anybody to show up. And I'm like, no, I don't paint that. I don't want to paint.
I don't want to paint my wall.
But I could. If I was looking for money that bad,
Yeah. How far are you booked out right now?
So I'm fixing to go to Texas to meet Whitney.
Yeah. Okay.
But instead of me just flying out there to meet her for a few days, me and my parents incorporated it into our yearly road trip. Because we have like a yearly road trip across the United States that we'll take. So we incorporated that into it and just are going to swing by there first. And then we're going to swing up through, like we have some family in Tulsa and the Spectrum Paint that I use here, Spectrum Paint Company, their franchise headquarters is in Tulsa. And I know one of the family members that runs it. So I'm going to stop by there and talk to her. And I even may paint a wall while I'm out there. I had a customer that sent me a message and was like, if you're coming out near here. So 3 weeks vacation. And then, so I'm booked in. I'm not fully booked for July, but I'm pretty booked. I mean, because part of it is the mural meetup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited that you're coming.
Yeah, I know. And I'm excited too. My friend Lacey told me about it because I didn't know that you had to be like in the group to sign up,
Yeah.
So if it hadn't been for her, I would have missed it because I've just been out here working and just haven't paid it attention. I thought maybe you posted it on your stuff for everybody or something. I didn't know. So my friend Lacey says, "Are you going to this?" And I was like, I didn't know she had one.
Lacey Frye?
No, Lacey Easel.
Oh, okay.
She's a new member.
Yeah.
So she signed up and she owns Talk and Chalk in Georgia.
Okay.
She is I'm not sure what part of Georgia, but she's just a recent new member of the group. She wants to do big murals and things, but she called me and told me. And so I was like, all right. So then I joined and signed up and got everything together for us to be able to both go. And then I'm booking in August. So I'm not booked up, but I have for the first time, like paid gigs 3 months from now.
Awesome. That's so cool. How much are you charging for those walls? Because even recently in the Arts Academy Facebook group, I noticed somebody got a commission for a beautiful wall like you do. And they're like, how do I get this watercolor effect? And so tell us how.
I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, Whitney was like, we can do it when you come. And I was like, okay, because I don't really know how to do that. Typically the walls they start at 700 and go up. And it takes usually about a day to do them. So yeah, so it's about. I typically make probably about $100 an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty
good. That's what I aim for.
Yeah,
I don't always make that, but that's what I aim for.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you mostly do those stylistic types of walls. Is there anything else that you kind of venture into that you like to do?
Well, they have really taken off, like, that was not even the type of art. I will say this, I'm much more of a business person than I am an artist, I feel like. And some people are like, we don't see that. And I'm like, well, it's true. Because I'm not painting your dog and I'm not painting a person. You don't want to see
Yeah.
what that looks like because I don't even, unless Fido is a cartoon, because I'm more of a cartoonistic person when I draw. Unless he's a cartoon, we're not painting him. Okay. So I don't have that like fine arts ability yet. So it wouldn't be that type of art. I do enjoy the abstract. I'm learning more and I like the logos, obviously. I think you called them in your book, like Easy Money or somewhere. I saw that,
Yeah.
because it is easy. I mean, you project the logo and fill it in. Can't be that bad. So I've been asked to do more of that lately, which is good. I do love some of the abstract stuff, like with gold. And like Etta V has become one of my favorite people.
What is it? Who?
Etta V. She spells her name like this ETTAVEE.
Okay. I've never heard of
She's
that.
just, well, she does a lot of abstracts, and you can, like, I can tell her work anywhere, like, because they all look the same. So I've studied a lot of abstracts lately and different people that paint them. So, I mean, for the now, that's probably my favorite type of thing, but I'm always game to try everything.
Yeah, you never know. And then you also have a membership that you just started too about showing
I
how
did.
people
I
how to.
started the Murals Made Easy group, and I have a couple of women in that I'm teaching like how to paint the walls, or like I have tutorials. So that was my goal, is to have like tutorials of how I painted them. So I have tutorials of the sensory pass because I get asked about those a lot. So those are fun too. That's also one of my favorites. They're just really hard. Like, that's hard work. I mean, most of the mural business is, but painting on cement on your hands and knees, that's probably the hardest work that I do, as far as hard on the body physically. But they're so fun. I mean, I just did a whole bunch of them at a school with like crayons and things. But I have tutorials of those because I get asked about them. And then I have the group, the membership, where I teach women how to paint like me, basically in the abstract, about anything. So almost anything I go to do, if it's like a faux finish on a door of like a wood thing, if I have a tutorial about it, they basically get to be in that group and get all of the tutorials for one price a month instead
Yeah.
of having to pay for them individually.
Really, I think just looking from the outside, as soon as you get this wallpaper thing figured out, I think that's your thing. I think that would be your thing to bottle up and then multiply and do a tutorial with. Because so many artists, I've heard of this, like they're trying to figure it out. And
How to do the wallpaper,
yeah, and it's
or just
like, yeah, how to turn one mural into wallpaper. I think that would be your breakthrough course.
probably. But like I said, I'm not tech savvy. And so that brings on all those things. If I can figure out Kajabi and figure out all these things that I have to figure, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like so much more studying than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a
But
learning curve. When I started
yeah,
teaching, it's just a whole other business. It's just a whole, like, learning how to talk to students and teach them, and yeah, it's a whole other thing. But it's
yeah,
fun.
it is. I mean, like, I've done everything, like I said, from door hangers to classes to children's art classes to showing trying to teach him online about these murals and stuff. But some of the hardest parts of it are the technology and like trying to figure out, do I need Kajabi? Is my website good enough? I have a tech guy that works for me, but he has like a full-time job, doing something else too. And I have like a little group of people that I have created, like an ad girl and a technology guy that runs the website and the tutorials, and I have an assistant that helps with some other things, but it's like it takes a whole lot of effort to try to put together courses and learn the technology and how to put it out there, how to
Yeah,
launch it correctly where people, because I noticed since I've joined your group, I'm like, she has the most organized like emails that
funnel.
go out. Yeah. And I'm like, oh Lord, how do I do that? I told somebody, I said, I'd rather pick her business brain any day than her art brain,
Oh yeah.
like I find that my dad actually, because I bought your book, and I've had it now for like a year, but I left it on the bar one time in my parents' house, and my dad picked it up and he was reading it right at the front of it. And then he said, "Who wrote this? It sounds just like you." And I was like, "Well, me and her probably do have a lot in common."
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we really do. We have a very similar business, and
I love business. Like I love the business part of it. Like I said, I mean, I love to paint, but I love the business part of it too. And that's where my strength is. And I do attribute a lot of that to why I have made it this far.
yeah, it definitely helps to have that business side to it. And I can kind of there's a lot of artists that I interview that they get started pretty quickly because they understand that promotion and business go hand in hand with art, and they need to get themselves out there and promote in that way and just do
Yeah.
the behind the scenes. But yeah, when you come for the mural meetup, I don't mind coming up and I'll open up my Kajabi and I'll show you exactly how I do all the email funnels. It's actually pretty easy once you figure it out. And I just like cut, copy, paste whenever I want to do another funnel. And yeah.
Yeah, I told my tech guy, I was like, this is the most organized thing I've ever seen. I was like, it runs automatically. Like, I was like, she's got this thing running automatically. And like, so
I'm glad you said that. Thanks.
like, I was like, she's doing so much and I'm not even doing any of this in my group. Like, not like I should be. I told him, I said, we've got to figure this out.
Oh, no. Well, in the beginning, I joined this furniture painter group, Dion Woods of the Turquoise Iris, and I went in her group and I was like, whoa, she's got everything. We'll like figure it out. But she had been doing it for a couple of years. And I think like after you do it for so long, you add, we do this on Mondays, and then it just kind of comes together.
Is it
after
just
a while.
you?
So it's me, but I have a virtual assistant as well, and she helps a lot with the back end stuff. But I show her exactly what to do. And anytime I have a podcast episode go out, for example, I'll write the description of it, and she'll put it for me. I showed her how to put it in an email, and that way, and I showed her how to send it out, and I can go and look over it. But now like it's my words, but she helps me like just do the back end of a lot of different things, and she'll give me a list once a month of people who have canceled the academy that needs to be deleted from the Facebook group, and so she'll give me all of that stuff, and she'll help me do the shout outs to the new people, and so she's my back end brain so I can just focus on whatever.
Well, see, I have an assistant that's like that, but unfortunately, she had to take a full-time job, so she's only available like a small portion of the time, and so it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but it takes all the people.
It does for sure. Okay, so I guess one last question. Is there any kind of advice that you would give to artists who are just starting out and they want to do what you're doing? They see these beautiful walls that you're creating and how much fun you're having painting. And what's your best piece of advice for someone to get started?
Really just to practice and to make a business page.
Okay.
And start posting it, like, or an Instagram, like, have a presence. You have to start and have a presence online. It will only take, like, having something go viral, like on Facebook or anywhere, I don't know. It will only take one thing that will go viral that will change your life or bring you lots of followers. I mean, when that post went viral a while back for me that had 38,000 likes on it, I mean, that's not even as viral as it could have been. I had an email system that caught 700 of those people that are now waiting for wallpaper. So I have buyers. I just don't have the wallpaper yet. But starting out, like at the bare bottom, you just have to start somewhere, anywhere. Try to paint all the things and decide which ones you like. What are you good at? I mean, I, through the years, have thrown down things that I wasn't as good at.
Yeah.
There was things I didn't excel in like I did others. And I was like, I got to get rid of that, you know?
Next.
Yeah. Next. With the same way went with my spirit rocks, but to give a new person out there an idea of this, when I first started, I had my personal followers on Facebook, and then I posted on my Facebook regardless if I liked it or not. Okay. If I thought if I hated it, and now even if I hate it, there are things I post up and I'm like, oh, I really don't like this. I don't like it. But the customer liked it. I didn't tell the customer maybe, but I'm like, gosh, I didn't do my best on that, but I still posted it, and then people will love it. And I'm like, why? I don't know if you have this.
Yep. Oh yeah.
There was like one while I did, and I'm not going to say which one, but every time I post it, people are like, oh my gosh, I just love that. I've had people ask for it on Canvas. Okay. And I'm like, wow. Like, I remember it being like not my best. So just post anything you do. There will be a buyer. There will be a customer for it. If you, like I said, it's that online presence. I get noticed now because of my online presence. I have been approached in the past 6 months 5 times by people who have mentioned, hey, I noticed you have such a unique and a big following on Facebook and different things. How did you get that? And I'm like, man, I've been working on it since 2014, but it's because it's a habit. I mean, I post at least 3 times a day. I post my artwork, even if I'm not done with it. It might be mid piece of artwork or, hey, it's Saturday. This is what I'm doing today, just to get engagement on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
You're inspiring me to post more because I've kind of, since having a baby, I've kind of like dialed down a lot, and I don't know, like I'm not quite as
well, I mean,
motivated.
you have a huge following on Instagram. Like, I don't know where your like bread and butter comes from, far as like your people. I'm sure they come from Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram, really. I mean, I get
Really.
a lot of local stuff from Facebook still, and I have like 8,000 followers and whatnot. Not quite over 100,000 like on Instagram, but yeah.
I don't know. I just like I get all my stuff from Facebook because that's just where all my people are. I don't know.
I think Facebook is a great place for muralists. Like if they're wanting to focus on one, and I also love how that you're just focusing on one mainly. You're not, I'm going to go to TikTok and I'm going to go to all these different places. Like you maybe dabbled in it, but Facebook is your bread and butter, and that's where you're sticking. And
I have everything. I have TikTok. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Pinterest. I have all the things. They are all there. They're established. You can go view them and follow them. However, you're going to find out the most recent and best information on either my website or my Facebook page.
I
I mean,
gotcha.
my everyday life is going to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I've remodeled my whole house and like am redoing it. And because I decided to paint in the rooms, I've posted pictures and like I'm going to send people like through the process of the befores and after. And like I said, I mean, that's where I get all my stuff from is Facebook, and it seems to work. So I'm like, I haven't even posted on Instagram lately, and I'm just like, oh, I used to try to be better at it, but it just is one more thing to do. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
So Facebook, I mean, I just toggle back and forth. I have a niece that is extremely talented, extremely, like way more than me. Like she's going to be the one drawing the people and stuff. And I just recently started her like a page, she wanted a way to sell her artwork and stuff. And she's not quite old enough. She's 13. Nobody's letting her have social media. But I started her a page so I could sell her artwork for her or like present her online and get it started because I often wonder, gosh, what if I had really been doing this in my 20s, like how far would I be? Because I mean, I should have been obviously, but you never know. I mean, it just isn't what happened. So now I'm playing catch up.
Yeah, well, you're doing great. And so, everybody listening, go follow her on Facebook. That's where you're going to get all the things. And just, if anything, just to see how much you post and follow your stuff and just exactly what you're posting. I think that helps because people are like, well, what do I post? It's like, just go see what Crystal's posting and see how just
Just
quickly.
yeah, just go see like if I go to Hobby Lobby or something, I take a picture, I take a selfie with some stuff and put it up there. I'll be honest, I follow Refabbed, Brooke Riley from Refabbed a lot. Well, I follow a lot of like business people, like business women. I mean, Jennifer Allwood and Brooke Riley and Damon Oates. And I watched them. Back in the day, I listened to a lot of Jennifer Allwood's podcasts that's where I learned a lot of things. But I just posted and now I rehash material constantly. Like I have enough content in my phone that I can go out west and just wait. Yeah. Like if you don't know what to post, like while I'm going out west, I will rehash content. I will post a wall that I painted 3 months ago one day. And then I might post another wall. And that's how one of them went viral. I had already posted it.
Oh, I love that.
It wasn't even the first time. It was like the third time. And then it just went viral. And I was like,
I
what
love
is it with
that.
that? But
Yeah.
that is So, I mean, I might change the content sometimes a little bit, but I take so many pictures. Oh my gosh, my phone is full of them and I have them all organized in the albums. And there might be a picture from a while 3 months ago that I didn't post. So I might post a different one or a different view from another side or whatever. I give people time enough to forget about what I posted and to see it again. Or just, I got so many new followers. You got to think half of my followers probably haven't seen anything from last year,
Yeah.
because they didn't go back in your feed, it's so if you think about that, like you just can keep rehashing it. You can take almost like 2 or 3 pictures or a certain idea or content and post it like 3 different ways.
What do you say? So say you posted that one 3 months ago. What do you say in your caption specifically?
So when I go back and post it, I have several like animal print walls. So I have gone through and posted all the pictures or like one picture out of each animal print wall, like leopard wall, and just posted it and said, love these leopard walls that I hand painted.
That's it. So simple.
It is not hard. It's not hard. Or I'll say, remember this wall that I painted a while back. Or this is always a favorite of mine.
One simple line. Okay, yeah. So, and I think because I push video a lot, I really like video, and people are they get so stuck. They're like, no, I don't want to create a reel or a video. I don't know how to do it. Just post a photo. just do photo. Do you do video as well?
I mean, I have so much content that I really need to make all the TikToks and reels, but that's where you're going to catch me at.
Exactly.
That's where you're going to catch me, like, not wanting to do that.
That's exactly though. You're doing what feels comfortable, what's in the habit, and what's easiest for you. Because it's so much easier to just pop a photo on rather than edit the video. And
if you listen, like somebody like Jennifer Allwood, she was a small business coach at one time before she got bigger now. But I remember her saying that she posted every day. She said, you will not see me like miss a day. She said, every holiday, every whatever, you might not post it, but you schedule it. And some people do. They schedule all their stuff. I just don't. I mean, I'm sure that I will, the busier or the like bigger, like to make time for other things. But I've grown my business on a wing and a prayer. And when I say that, it was probably half a wing and like a whole prayer. So, I mean, it's been working. Everybody says, well, it's been working for you. So just keep on doing it. I mean, it's what works for me. I don't have a plan and I don't know sometimes when I go to paint a wall, what I'm going to paint. I don't have a mock-up beforehand. I told a girl the other day that ceiling I painted, I don't know if you saw it. I did not have a mock-up beforehand.
Oh, really? So that you just kind of go in and wing it?
Yes.
And that usually works out.
It just has so far. I'm not saying that it always will because some places want a mock-up for like a bigger job, but they're like completely, we trust you. It's fine. Do whatever.
Those are the best.
I mean, I'll send them some pictures or examples like that I've found and I'll just pull from different pictures. Like I don't copy anything from online, but I legit will go to Pinterest and have like 5 or 6 pictures and then send them to them. Be like, anything. They're like, oh, we like this one. And I'm like, well, what is it that you like about it? The colors or the shapes or what? And like that ceiling was a plethora of, I bet 25 pictures just that I looked at and drew different things from or whatever.
Yeah, I do that a lot as well.
My whole life is like a wing and it's just worked. I mean, it really just has worked. My assistant has tried to make me a little bit more organized and together. It just has worked for me. So if you post on a whim and you are your real self, people will follow you for for your style.
Don't overthink it. That's what I'm getting. What I'm getting the feel of. Don't overthink it. So just to challenge anybody that's
people want to know how you do what you do, and people won't like you said. People think, well, what to post. People want to know how you do it, so they want to see you do it, and they really just want you to show up.
Yeah, they just want to get a peek into, and we have the easiest career to post content about. Everything we do is interesting, and not very many people can do it. So people are just wowed at even the stuff we really don't like. So I would love to challenge anybody that's listening right now. Just post what you're doing, whatever you're doing. Just post it up there.
Yeah, you can even go and post other artists. I mean, I share other artists' works, or I'll go and share something, an article from that I Googled that was like the best ways to paint something, or pros to abstract art, or what's trending in the modern home or something. I mean, like whatever your job entails and whatever your niche is. I mean, you can find information about it and just rehash it. You can find some information, copy and paste it into Canva onto something, and then just put it on your page. Like, it's not hard, I promise.
Yeah, yeah, and you've reposted parts of my book before, which thank you so much. I love that. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I actually was going through and highlighting some of it, but yeah, like there's a lot in there. I've recommended it to several people too, but that you can, I mean, because some of it just makes so much sense. Like I said, I mean, the biggest question I feel like we get is how much we charge.
Mm-hmm.
That is the biggest question across the board to me that I feel like anybody ever asked me.
Yep.
The one hang up, and they want to know why I have never had that hang up. And I've gotten it wrong several times, when I didn't charge enough, but I've never had a problem at charging.
Oh, really?
Or picking a number. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, didn't necessarily get it right. Like I said, there were times when I definitely didn't charge enough.
Yeah. You just go with it. You wing it. You wing it.
Well, once you figure out, it's a supply and demand issue.
Yeah.
How in demand are you? How booked up are you? If you're booked up every day, then you need to charge more.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And I feel like the true artist, that's where all their hangups are. Like that's part of my business brain that's not the artist. But a lot of artists don't have that. So, it obviously they need people like me, you, and different ones that are probably have a business side to us to help.
To help them out. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on as we're about to hit our end. But yeah, I like how we've just spanned over a bunch of different things, mostly social media, and just reiterating the idea of just do it. Just charge what you want to charge.
I don't like Nike, but I love their slogan. Just do it.
Just do it. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad we got to chat and I get to know you a bit better. I'll be following you on Facebook, and I recommend anybody listening go follow her on Facebook. If you do anything, just go follow on Facebook and
yeah, I can't wait to meet you at the mural meetup. So
yeah,
that's exciting.
Awesome. Yep. Okay. Well, I'll see you soon, and we'll do a follow-up on this maybe next year about how you're doing.
Yeah, about the wallpaper.
Yes.
We're going to meet back again.
Yes. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll chat with you later. I'll see you in a month or two at the mural meetup. Not long. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Artist Academy podcast. I've been putting out at least one episode per week for more than 4 years on this podcast, and it's really cool to see those download numbers go up and up as time goes on. And that's because artists like you listen and share these episodes. So really, when I say thank you, I mean it. It's really cool to see progress along the way. And anyway, if you like this type of art and business content, then I highly encourage you to get the audio version of my book, Mural Money, with over 15 hours of listening inspiration. I'm currently running a special of just $17 for the audio version. You can go to muralmoney.com to find it. And that comes with a bunch of extras like my art supply list, my pricing guide, recommended book and podcast list, and so much more. I filled that book with tips from my art journey of building a profitable mural career. Plus, I've included the best of the best advice from guests I've interviewed on this podcast. It's the most affordable all-in-one book of advice on art and business that I have. And if you enjoy listening to me here, then I know you'll like the book too, because I read it myself. All 15 hours of it. The book is available on Amazon and Audible normally for $25, but if you go to muralmoney.com, that is where you can grab the special $17 deal while it lasts. If you haven't listened to my book yet, this is your sign to do it. Again, normally $25. I'm running a special for $17, but you have to go to muralmoney.com. That's where you can grab the audio version of it. And that's all I have for you today. So I will see you next week for another episode of the Artist Academy podcast.